Okay, we are live.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Let's see who is with us today.
Yeah.
Christina.
So welcome to our 6th webinar. We're just going to see how many people have joined, if we need to give people a couple more minutes. Hope you're all okay.
Yeah, we have Matthew and Evie and Katerina and Khalid and Nu and Kate. So good to see you all, and good to see some of you back in our events. We're going to wait a few more minutes and give people a bit more time to join. And then we'll get things started.
Yeah. The aim of the webinars is to sort of give you all information about different topics that can help you with your payment processing. So we can't wait to get you started with this one. We hope we have good tips for you guys.
Yeah. Okay, we have also Theo joining, and Leonidu, Daniela, and Neil. Great. So payments for all businesses.
Yeah.
What a topic, huh?
I think it's what we were discussing is that we have some webinars that are going to be more specific in specific topics, and then some that are more general that can help all types of industries and all types of businesses. This is one of the more general topics that we're going to discuss. First, to introduce myself, I'm the head of the business development representatives of sales. We speak to clients on a daily basis. We speak to clients across the whole world, in different industries, in different types of businesses. And our job is to gather as much information about these companies in order to see how we can assist them and how we can meet their needs. So yeah, that's it.
How many type of businesses you think you speak with?
Oh, many. We speak with travel industry, ecommerce, SaaS companies, fintech, gaming.
How many
All
of the
types of
merchants
businesses.
you can't really allocate them to a vertical, right? So they're selling something that, I don't know, machines or factories, or we had governments and city halls,
Yeah.
universities.
Yeah,
Um,
education. We've had a lot of digital learning and universities and things like that as well.
Everybody's processing.
Everybody is processing online.
Okay, we have also Mustafa join us. Thank you guys for joining us, and happy to have you here with us. We've also we have the chat open for everyone to ask us anything about this lesson, about payments in general. So you're very much or any experience you had from your side, or challenges you had to face in your type of business, in your type of vertical. So we'll be happy to answer those questions. And we also have some polls ready for you.
Yeah, it will be interesting to hear what you guys have to say within the polls, because this is going to be one of the main discussions that we're having today. It's all about we're going to start this discussion with different payment methods. So it'd be interesting to see what your opinion is on that. The reason why we came up with this webinar was actually based on feedback we were getting from clients. So a lot of clients struggle to find the correct payment methods based on the industry they're in, based on the target regions, and also based on your target customers, because you might have different age groups that different payment methods work for them and so on. So I've heard a lot. I wish we found BridgerPay sooner, things like that, because it's hard as a startup company that is trying to build a business, and you have your 5-year plan or your 10-year plan, and you're trying to make a successful company and so on, and you might not think of the technical side of payment processing and how you can actually achieve your goals.
Exactly.
And also for companies that are trying to scale up, established companies.
They put processing in the end, you know.
Yeah.
They deal with everything else, and usually they come to it last. But yes, this is becoming more and more key part of a success of a business. And yeah, let's get this started. I think we have also some new joiners to the event. We have GM and we have Olia. So happy to have you all here, and welcome to Bridger events. We share in those events from our knowledge, from our experience in the payment industry and payment technologies specifically, and the way and what we see from merchants around the world and merchants that are using Bridger. And we want to contribute that and give you those added values to take. We're going to speak today about payments for all businesses. So yeah, let's get started.
Let's start with the first slide. So payment types. Okay, so we're starting with credit cards. We have some statistics for you guys. So in 2020, credit and debit cards was the preferred payment method. It still is the preferred payment method in the US. And surprisingly for me, 80% of millennials still use credit or debit cards online rather than other payment methods. So what do you think about that, Ran?
Well, credit card is obviously a very, very used and common way to pay.
Yeah.
We have our credit cards. We have them today in our phones. Next week, Apple is going to update with the new protocol that allows those iPhones to become processing machines, like an actual POS machines that you are processing your card on. So every iPhone can become a POS machine and process cards. So cards is obviously very much used, but also used in advanced technology and are being implemented inside different and advanced technologies like Apple Pay and Google Pay, and ways of paying with credit cards behind. There's obviously different types of credit cards. You want to know as a business that you support everything. And if it's Amex and Visa and MasterCard and Maestro and many different types of cards, that can come from different parts of the world, you want them all to be served to the user agnostically. So the user doesn't need to think, I don't see that you have the logo of Maestro, so maybe you don't support it. So I'll go. I'll leave and I'll go buy somewhere else where I see the Maestro logo. So you want to have something agnostic, something unified, something that will tell the user, look, this is credit cards, no matter what, just come in with your credit card. Once a client press his credit card, the system should automatically know which card is it and send that card to the right payment provider, the right acquirer that is connected behind.
Okay. Very good. So if we move on to the next option, I was going to say, from a personal experience, when I was younger, when I first went to study, don't laugh at me, but even with Amazon, I didn't feel 100% secure with it. So I'm talking about 14, 15 years ago. And personally, I wouldn't use my credit card. I didn't feel safe. Now looking back, it's like it's Amazon. Nothing would have happened if I used my credit card. My credit card's saved in Amazon now and everything. But yeah, for me, it would have been an alternative payment method such as PayPal.
So first of all, if we go 15, 14 years back, your trust in the ecosystem of e-commerce was low, and the confidence was, on the ground, and that's natural. That's many of us and many of the people that are today buying frequently online wasn't doing it 15 years ago, although they could, and they saw others doing it next to them from time to time. But also think about Amazon. the changes they did in the last 15 years, the security protocols they added to make you secure today, to know that this package is going to come to you, even with a little drone, but it's going to come to you, right?
Yeah.
So they invested so much on making you feel confident on making these transactions, and you can see it with the rise of transaction online due to COVID, and even before COVID, the trend is there.
Yeah.
The growth is huge, and we are talking almost on $8 trillion on 2025 as a projection of e-commerce sales. So yeah, that's a lot of online sales. If we look at this slide, we can see PayPal, which everybody knows as a very common way to pay. You have a balance in your wallet. You have also PayPal allows you today to, like any credit card acquired, to actually take a credit card from a user that doesn't have any PayPal account and simply process him through PayPal. As an acquirer, it will cost you a bit more, but it's still an option. And they're also offering today buy now, pay later. They're also offering crypto inside their offering for the travel industries. You can see with PayPal different solutions directly for the travel industry. On the bottom part, we see Flutterwave with the African alternative payment methods that is basically debiting your bank account, which is a very popular way to pay in Africa. You just use your online banking, also Southeast Asia. So very popular there. And it can all be done and be served to the users within the checkout. No need to redirect them. Everything is being opened within the checkout. So that's, I think, one of the most important keys today when you think about user experience and how you become really customer centric.
Yeah, I used to work in another finance company and it was B2C, so I was dealing with clients. And if you were speaking with UK clients and you had the payment option for PayPal, automatically they would feel more confident and more secure in using it. Or if you're speaking with Netherlands, for example, Ideal. Yeah. It was like 100%. If they had the option, it would always go to
same with German and Klarna and so forth. Yeah. So or Canadian with Interac, or so many examples of local payment methods that are so widely used within the users in that country. And once you have them, it shows a lot to that user that you have actually adapted your business into his payment ecosystem, and he's happily paying, and I'm guessing he's paying even more. Because he does see his preferred payment method, it's connected to his bank, easily being taken. So
they're feeling more confident in buying something. It's actually there was a survey in 2020 that people are using digital and mobile wallets such as PayPal, Apple Pay, Google Pay, almost 45% globally. And it's expected by 2024 to reach 52%. So that's half the market is preferring to use alternative payment methods. So it's really, really important for any online company, any business processing online.
Yeah, inside the alternative payment methods, you have different layers, right? So you have the alternatives like PayPal, which everybody knows and widely used across the world, right?
Yeah.
You have Flutterwave African payment methods that are widely used within the region. So there are regional alternative payment methods, there are generic alternative payment methods, and there are alternative payment methods that are using different types of payments, such as crypto and vouchers and bonus cards, etc., etc. So, and we're gonna show it soon. So.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next slide.
Yeah.
Oh, this one's a good one.
Yeah. Buy now, pay later.
Yes.
It's the installments of the new generation.
Yeah. It was. I'll give you a brief story.
Why pay everything?
When I was younger, so this was before online shopping.
Okay.
My mum used to have catalogs. I don't know if this is everywhere, in the UK maybe only. So it's like a magazine, but that had all clothing in it. And you used to write down the code and you would call them up and you'd give them the code and you ordered your clothes and they bring it. And you had the opportunity to pay by installments.
Okay.
And for my mum, being a single mum with 3 young kids, it was a very viable option for her. And I think you have to consider that because it's such a big market that you're maybe trying to target regions that have lower income or single parent households or things like that, that would allow them to afford something that they wouldn't necessarily be able to buy otherwise.
It could definitely, obviously, benefit these cases. But if you look at the countries like Israel,
Yeah.
where installments are a part of the banking system,
Yeah.
you don't need to open an account somewhere. Everywhere you will pay, you are able to simply, with your credit card, without any account anywhere, you're able to slice and dice it to 24 installments and get the newest iPhone and pay 50 shekels a month. I can tell you, 17-year-old with rich daddies are doing installments like there is, so it's going to become widespread. It's going to become used in all the different layers of the society. And why really paying everything now when I can pay it in installments? It's going to be the same price. And I rather spread my money like that. And I'm going to buy more things. I'll be able to buy more. And we are in a consumer world, and people are in a way struggling, but in another way trying to figure out how to finance themselves throughout different transactions, and to be able to have the basket size bigger. Yeah. So this is definitely allowing them to do so. You have today different buy now, pay laters, players that are global, players that are regional, players like Afterpay that is here, Zip, which started in Australia, moved to the UK, US, and today they are really global players. You have a firm, for example, that is really based and focused in the US and just now starting to look to expand. You have Klarna that did amazing job in Europe, both brand-wise and service, the service and the product that they are offering. And now also into the US, in Australia, Hum and Latitude, which are local Australian and also now spreading out together with Hula and many other buy now, pay laters that we are connected with. And we can see also in Bridger the amount of transactions that are going through those payment providers. It's definitely going to the percentage you just said.
We have some statistics here. So 35% of shoppers are more likely to buy something if given the option to buy now, pay later. 25% of them would increase the amount. Yeah, that was being spent. And this is something huge for this year. 65% of merchants plan to add buy now, pay later. So if you're one of the 35%, if you don't have it, but if someone needs this or prefers this payment method and you don't have it and your competitor has it, you've automatically lost the client.
Yeah. The checkout is becoming a drop-off point to users. They can see the website, they can see the product, they might be able to reach up until they want to finish and check out, and then leave just because there wasn't the buy now, pay later they were expecting to see. The usage of it is growing rapidly, and I'm quite sure that we will see a growing amount of merchants connecting them. Mm-hmm. Some things that it depends on the amount of transaction, and it's not because those buy now, pay laters companies become very much advanced, and they are offering also premier services. So tickets above 1,000, above 2,000, 5,000.
Yeah.
So, and they're being able to spread not only to 3 to 6, 12 months. So also the capabilities of those companies are growing and rapidly.
Yeah.
And they're allowing more and more merchants with more and more types of products to join this. Let's see if we have questions.
Yeah.
We see people are very quiet. Guys, if you have any questions, we have an open chat. So you're very much welcome to share with us what you think about buy now, pay later, alternative payment methods, your checkout. So we'll be happy to speak with you about it and answer your questions. Okay. Okay, we have something. My preferred way to pay, buy now, pay later. Yeah, that's okay. Martins is asking us, is there any risk to the merchant to offer buy now, pay later option? It's a good question.
That is a good question.
Ronnie is asking us, are there providers that offer the buy now, pay later for airline and hospitality? It's also a good question. Okay, so first of all, let's start with Martins and, you know what? Ladies first, it's Women's Week.
Yeah, it's a Women's Year.
It's a
Women's Century.
Right. So, okay, yeah, you got some applause. So yeah, there are buy now, pay laters that are specifically working with airlines and travel industry. There is one in the US which is quite popular and is doing great job. And the way and the reason he's doing it is because he had the sense of actually really connecting fast to all the different hubs, if it's IATA or Amadeus, and allowing different airlines to use them. But if you ask me if the entire if those names that we are speaking about are all connected, then no. I know Zip is also connected to IATA and are allowing airlines to use them. But if you want to create some kind of a pool of buy now, pay laters and offer them, you need a connector, you need a gateway to be able to connect them and add them all under your checkout. If we go to Martin's question and about the risk to the merchants to offer buy now, pay later. So, is there a risk, Christina?
I wouldn't think there would be a risk.
You, as a merchant, connect to Afterpay. You get a processing account. Someone is coming into your checkout, buying the shirt you are offering or the airline ticket, pressing the buy now, pay later, decided that he wants to spread it to 3 installments. You, as a merchant, you're going to get the entire ticket funds as a settlement. So you got your settlement. So do you care? Your risk is quite minimized. The risk is entirely on the buy now, pay later.
Yeah, it's on the PSP,
which is providing this credit line to the user. It will cost more to the merchant. So from one side, like you said, there's more clients that would tend to use buy now, pay later. They would even buy more.
Yeah.
But it will cost you more. And that's something you should know, because in the end, you are paying for the service here. And it's almost double than the cost of credit card.
Okay. We actually have one of the polls here. How much more would you be willing to pay if given the option to pay in installments?
Mm-hmm.
So people are actually willing to pay more just to be given that opportunity. So even if it costs more to the merchant, the client is willing to pay it.
Look, why not? You pay a little bit more for transaction with a basket size 25 larger than it used to be.
Yeah.
So your revenues or your profit covers the margins, covers the gap between credit card and buy now, pay later costs. Shouldn't have any shouldn't be an impact. But again, as long as you're exposed to the data, easily making those calculations, understanding what's the basket size with the buy now pay later, what's the basket size with the credit card, what's the differences in my cost, am I earning here? If you have all the data, if you're owning the data, it's an easy decision.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go to our next payment method. Vouchers.
Yeah, vouchers comes in multiple ways and forms. It could be a voucher, it could be a bonus card. They work under the same. It could be a loyalty card, where, for example, airlines. We speak about airlines all the time. So, and so airlines, you have, the miles and bonus, and you want to pay the ticket with your miles and bonus. So how has it been done? How is a transaction being actually done when you're paying with nothing, with virtual things? So this is all ways of or methods of payments that are consolidated under two screens on your checkout. One that is taking the details from the user, identifying him, his points status, right? The different levels of points and what does it give you, etc. And then when you want to make the payment and buy whatever you want to buy, the voucher pin or the points code or whatever it is, this is what we need in order to facilitate that transaction, send this transaction through the backend to the merchants that expects also to get transactions with vouchers or points or cards and place the order, and actually place the order with just this pins or points, and that's all we need in order to create here a transaction. Let's move on to the next one. We have,
just to mention about vouchers, again, it depends on target regions as well. They are used more in specific countries like Latin America, for example, or Middle East.
If you speak about vouchers as vouchers, it's usually used in South America, Southeast Asia, places where people don't have cards, and they're buying the vouchers in the markets, in the pharmacies, and basically coming into the checkout and placing the PIN codes and buying the goods. Crypto.
What's your opinion about crypto payments?
We don't have enough time. It's a big topic. Crypto is obviously coming into the checkouts. We see it in the high-risk industries coming in very strong as a replacement for different methods. In e-commerce, when they accommodate crypto, it's to create an alternative, to create another payment methods, to attract those who specifically want to pay with their crypto. That takes longer. And you start see the e-commerce and even airlines speaking to us about really today about adding crypto. It even caught us in a surprise,
Really?
Okay. But yes, and it was, even if it was surprise for us, today, tomorrow it's already old news. So the way to do it is first of all and we are not talking about wallet to wallet transactions. So I'm not talking about the fact that as a merchant I have a wallet and I'm asking you as a user to pay me to my wallet, right? So I'm giving you my wallet number or my QR code, whatever, and I'm telling you go pay. Okay, if you went and did that, the transaction that you did went through an exchange, right? Because you transferred from your wallet to my wallet. No one knows about it, only the exchange, right?
Yeah.
It's like on the air. And then you are in a point where there's a user who paid something, but no one knows, and no one knows how to allocate that transaction to that user, and it gets very messy. When a user is buying actually or purchasing with crypto, but through a process that is connected to an exchange on the back end, that allows us to connect the whole picture. So a user wants to purchase a flight ticket or $1,000, but the equivalent of $1,000 is, in that example, 0.03 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So the conversion is already being done on spot by the one that serves you the option. You should very much be aware that when a transaction is being done and the client in the end pays, by the time he pressed paid and the time you got the approve from the exchange that the transaction was paid, maybe there was a fluctuation in the rate.
Yeah.
So the client wants to pay $1,000 for a ticket, but you got back from the exchange $1,050.
What happens then?
What happens?
You just
first you
go
should
out for dinner?
not. First of all, you shouldn't say to the client, "Yes, thank you, everything is great. Your transaction was approved, and that's it." You can tell him that his transaction was approved, but you need to also refund him the difference. So you need a system that will alert you when those changes happen. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does. It could happen.
Okay.
And when it is happening, you need to be alerted. You need to know that this transaction is approved, but it's on hold. We are waiting for you to tell us what to do with it. You want to refund a part of it, you want to approve all of it, and that's it, take the money and tell the clients thank you, or because sometimes it's going to be less.
Yeah.
The client wanted to pay $1,000, you got $950. The market went down. What do we do?
Okay,
So it's both part problems when you do crypto and the market is volatile and you want to know how to protect yourself. And that's an important thing. I think we had a question.
Yeah, we do. Can using cryptos reduce fees?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So let's say credit card transaction will cost us around 2%, 2 point something. Less, depends on the merchant. Crypto transaction will cost us, let's say we opened the account in whatever exchange and we connected it to our checkout, and a client is basically depositing or paying to us with crypto. So basically all the money is going to, all the payments are coming into my wallet in BTC. The client is the one that pays the commission, so I'm getting the full amount.
Okay.
Ready-made. And then when I want to convert it to dollars, then I'm converting it in the exchange. I'm basically buying dollars and not BTC, and the cost will be the conversion between the BTC to the USD, and we're talking about less than 0.1%. So this is much cheaper.
Yeah.
Mustafa is asking us something. Is it better to reserve cryptos in their own form or exchange to fiat when the transaction taking place? Wow, very good question. Well, look, if you reserve them, you went into a world of risk management. So you got your payments in Bitcoin. The month passed. You want to get your settlement. You transfer it to dollars, and oh my God, I have 10K less. What happened here? The rate of transaction average was dropping, and what am I doing here?
Yeah.
So either you are opening a hedge transaction, long-term hedge transaction on the amount you expect your volume to be and hedge yourself, because and it all depends on the amounts, or you simply exchange everything on spot. or you use an exchange, right? And there are many that immediately does that for you. You don't even have to do it yourself. So you get the Bitcoin and they immediately exchange and settle you in USD.
Okay.
So you don't need to go through all of this risk management. It's
Would be
it's
a
a
lot.
very volatile market, and we're talking about transactions happening in different times. I would definitely exchange it to fiat when transaction takes place. As a business, you definitely don't want to be exposed to those.
To that risk.
Yeah.
So now on to the payment flow. So the difference between the payment flow for a credit or debit card or an alternative payment method, and so on. So you have the user, they go to the website, they're on the checkout, they come to the PSP, you enter your details, your acquiring bank needs to approve the transaction to go to the issuing
The acquiring
bank.
bank of the PSP it needs to approve this transaction through the credit card networks with the merchant bank, the issuer. Every step here is a step of communication between two different, bodies that are communicating either directly or through a network. The pitfalls in this waterfall is huge. So you can see in every step a drop from the website that try to place a transaction through a PSP and get, a white screen, errors.
There's
the
a lot of
PSP is
points
down.
where things can go wrong.
When the PSP goes through his acquiring bank, and his acquiring bank doesn't like this card, country, guy, address, something, you manage to went through the credit card network and to the merchant bank, and the merchant bank is returning you an amazing white screen with not the 3D session you wanted to have. So so many pitfalls you can have here, and the only way to really succeed here is to be able to create below the website or between the website and the PSP a layer that will allow you to create fallbacks between different payment providers, different acquiring banks, different communications to the credit card networks, and different 3D MPIs with the merchant banks. Different success ratios for each payment providers that if you fallback them together, you create your optimized approval ratio. On alternative payment methods, we see less hassle, but don't fool yourself. Between the website and the APM, the amount of problems that are happening is endless from different browsers and different mobile and devices. That alternative payment methods are basically opened in an iframe in your checkout, or maybe redirected to another tab, which is completely worse. And then if you have a pop-up blocker, that's it. I missed it. I will never see the thing open. So these challenges is the challenges of alternative payment methods, and these are challenges that merchants are facing on a daily basis. The ones they know, the ones they don't know. But yes, these are one of the main challenges that we are trying to solve here in BridgerPay.
Yeah, I think it's worth mentioning that around 30% of customers that are purchasing online, if they have an issue when it comes to the actual payment, they will stop. They won't actually proceed with it. If they have to re-enter the credit card details or any credentials, they'll actually stop the purchase, and that, 30% is a big loss.
In my head, I always think, okay, maybe someone is recording me now. You have this thing. It's this thing that is in our head and makes us uncomfortable when we get a result we haven't expected.
Yeah.
Right? We know we have money in the card. We're working hard. What's the problem? why is it not going through, and we are
Yeah.
waiting and waiting and waiting, and then it's like declined or whatever it is. And the experience is bad, and you get your transaction was declined. Why?
You
I
think,
worked so
what's the
hard.
problem?
Why it was declined? And they don't even tell you why it was
Yeah.
declined, right? So the lack of confidence you reach at that point is crucial for you. You want to minimize it
Yeah.
as much as possible. You want to be sure that if the guy got this decline was because he doesn't have funds in his account.
Yeah,
And that's the only
the
reason.
only reason.
And if he doesn't have funds in his account, let's tell him that in a nice way, Let's try another card that you might have a balance with. So, but you don't want to just throw out this decline at him and expect him to, okay, I'll be okay.
I think it will prevent impulse purchases as well. Because if you get the decline and you have a minute or two to process it, like, oh, maybe I don't need that pair of shoes. Maybe let's think about it.
You gave him another second to think. That's like the worst thing you can do. Okay, guys, if you have any questions so far, you are welcome to ask us. Mustafa, I hope we answered your question. Okay, where are we?
We're on to the last slide.
Yeah.
So, industry examples.
Yeah, there's like we said, there's many verticals that we use we speak with here in Bridger, and if we break it down to main verticals, then we have the e-commerce, the SaaS, the travel, we have the finance world, and the gaming, and we can see that almost all of them are using almost all the different payment methods available today in the market to use. There are some verticals that by product are quite limited in what they can use. For example, SaaS companies that we speak with a lot today that offer both a monthly and yearly payment options on their subscriptions, and they're not able to offer different payment methods to monthly and different to yearly. So they are stuck with a card on both, and this is a problem that we are solving in Bridger with our subscription model. And that was the big challenge that we faced when we built our subscription model to be able to save subscriptions that are failed on the first try.
Yeah.
So you are able to, first of all, not lose any subscription transaction, not only to be able to save a regular transaction, but also a subscription transaction. And the second thing we had the challenge that we faced was to be able to offer to monthly and yearly different payment methods, opening buy now, pay laters and vouchers and crypto even to yearly payments of subscription and SaaS merchants. Okay. And that's something that we've done in our component, and it was a big challenge to overcome. Maybe we should have an event on SaaS and speak about it. But yeah, we can see most verticals are almost going to the same place and getting to the place they're using everything. We can see that the gaming and finance, which are on high risk, won't use buy now, pay laters because it involves also the credit here and to be able to pay in advance, and that won't be something that they will do soon and won't take the risk on, and the exposure here is too high for them. So they are now very much into the travel, the e-commerce, the retail, the SaaS, the services.
Yeah. Brilliant. Q&A.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions, guys? Anything that you maybe didn't understand, or anything that maybe we didn't cover for you?
We definitely would like to hear about maybe your experience, your thoughts as merchants on different payment methods. What does clients are asking you to connect and from where? And do you see this trend of buy now, pay later also adding into your list of requests from clients? Let's see, Mustafa is asking us. How was it for you?
One of the polls here is, would you ever use crypto for online purchases? So as we were saying, 75% responded yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which I'm surprised by that.
Wow.
I think it's a very, very big amount.
Wow. Okay. It is. Maybe you should ask in the other poll, do you hold crypto? Let's see. So Mustafa is asking us, wouldn't merchants save from fees when reserving in crypto? Is that a considerable advantage? Well, definitely they will. They will. That's definitely true. You get the bit, you save it as bit. The risk is on you, but the fees are nothing. So the client took on himself the complete commission on the transfer. You've got your bit complete into your wallet. You will exchange it on the exchange. It will cost you a few pips. Then you will withdraw it to your Euro account. So you will pay, I don't know, a few pips on the transfer. You cannot compare it, of course, to whatever you're going to pay on credit card transaction. It is a considerable advantage if we were living in a market with a volatility of, I don't know, 1 to 5%, 1 to 3, 4% a month. We are talking about volatilities of 10, 20, 30%.
Yeah.
And that will either hurt your settlement or gain you a nice profit on it. But again, if you will do it, if you try to do it yourself, then minimize the risk and do the conversions yourself. And once you do the conversions yourself, then you won't be so exposed. And if you do it, I don't know, every day to all the transactions that come in, then your volatility exposure is between one day to another.
Yeah.
And that's maybe something, it's more maintainable.
I know, but the tech resources needed in order to do that,
and there is
going to be higher than the fees that you would pay. No?
Yeah.
So
it is a considerable thing, but it depends on the volume.
Yeah.
It depends on the volume, because again, to do the exchange takes a second, and it's not something that you cannot place someone to do. And yeah.
I think another question coming through.
Matthew is asking, can merchants stick with a stable coin like USDT and avoid the volatility of the market? Definitely. The reason you can ask clients to pay you with USDT, then basically you got USDT in your account. USDT is bound to the dollar rate. So whatever the dollar goes, the USDT goes. The differences are minor. And then you don't have to do it. But you would need your clients to pay you with USDT. I don't have USDT, I have Bitcoin.
Yeah, you have to look out.
You're asking me to go to my wallet to exchange my bit to USDT and then pay with USDT.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a hassle.
It's again making sure that you have the most popular payment options for your clients.
It's the same. So you just drill it down to crypto and get to the same thing.
Yeah.
People own Bit, they own Ethereum, you want to offer them those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So guys, if you don't have any more questions, I think
yeah. I think we're done for today.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening, and thank you for joining us to another Bridger event.
Yeah.
Thank you, Christina. It was lovely.
Thank you, Ran. It was a pleasure. And hopefully see you all next week as well.
Yeah.
For our next webinar.
Yeah. See you all next week in our next webinar. And yeah, thank you everyone for the support, for the questions. Thank you. And have a good evening.
Day. Bye.
Bye-bye.